Good morning, and welcome to another edition of
Breakfast with Hedley.
That's us, and it's breakfast. Can you tell?
What do we do at Breakfast with Hedley while we eat?
Well, we answer fan questions with the Crippler.
Twats.
Let's dive right in, because I'm blowing up over here.
You got one?
Go ahead, boys.
Oh, okay, I have one. It is, when is your next concert?
Oh, this is a tough
Now, do we need to answer that? When is our next concert for wherever that person's going to be, or is it when's our next? Our next concert is in 6 hours.
Yeah.
And the one after that is 24 hours.
It's
after
30
that.
hours later.
Yeah. I hope that answers their question. For more information, please.
You could go for all the tour concerts. You don't ever have to ask us. You can find out on your own at hedleyonline.com.
You can find out on your own. You'll probably be more successful by finding out on your own than you would by asking someone the way that you'd ask your parents.
We are less reliable. We are less reliable with this information.
There seems to be a lot of people, most notably Stephanie Perez, asking what our favorite song to perform on this tour is. I personally have. It's not that there's a favorite, but there's really a few really powerful moments in the set for me, and one of them is the song "Stormy." I really love performing that song, and another one is "Darling." It's every single night that song is such a moment.
Yeah, Darling's a really special moment on stage. I like every time the thunder explodes, I look over at Tom and he makes fists.
Dude, I have my hand in a fist when that thunder goes off.
You said that the other day, and I was like, yeah, I bet you do. And then I looked over the next day, I was like, oh, he really does.
It just injects me with adrenaline at that moment. It's awesome.
It's pretty badass. It's a really special song, and I think what makes it really special is the crowd's reaction to it, because they don't just go the whole time. It's silent until the very last line is sung, and then they just erupt, and it's a really special moment. It really shows us how much the fans and how much the people that are coming to the shows are in to those parts. It's really special.
I think everybody's favorite song to play every night has been the drum solo.
It's a real moment. It's nice to see the guys that hang out with musicians get in the spotlight.
A girl asks, Ashley Lavadino asks, what is your spirit animal?
Ooh.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Really?
I was looking at pictures of us, thinking what our animal.
Did you watch that episode of Metalocalypse?
I did.
Where they go to Brazil and then they or they go to the Amazon and then they take that crazy drug.
And then I saw a poster of us, and I was studying our faces to see what our spirit animal would be.
Let's start with Dave.
I can't pick my own. What do you guys think mine is?
Oh, what's a cute animal?
Like a squirrel or a chipmunk?
A vole.
A vole.
What's a vole?
A vole. It's kind of like a badger or a mole. Isn't
Yeah, it's
it?
a little mouse. It's like a small mouse.
Yeah,
Cute mouse.
you know? All right, I'll be a vole.
Yeah.
Elephants are afraid of voles.
Yeah.
Jakes.
I'd have to be
Wolf eagle?
somewhere between a wolf and an eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought mine would have been an eagle, some kind of bird of prey.
Like
I think
an
it
osprey.
mostly has to do with my beak.
I'm saying I'm gonna have to say osprey.
Osprey.
Osprey. More of an ocelot. Yeah.
Crippen.
Titmouse.
Maybe
No.
like a badger or something like that?
That'd maybe be one of the nipples on a big pig.
A spirit animal body part?
Yeah. John Zink asks, this is really interesting. Did you guys ever get photographed by the late Andrew McNaughton? For those of you that don't know, he is quite a prolific Canadian photographer who just recently passed away, and it's quite a tragedy. He died at a seriously young age. And to answer that question, actually, Andrew just came out with a book over the last few years called Grace, and it's a photo documentary of Africa. And with each photograph, there is a Canadian musician who adds like a poetry line or a quote of some sort, and we did actually got to contribute to that, so that was a kind of neat way to work with him. And it's called Grace, and if you haven't checked it out, it's a really awesome book, so you should check that out.
Patricia Wellafas. She's like.
Is that a name?
That's her name. Well, F.
Oh, I see.
How surprised were you and Barry when all the fans held the hearts up at the concert, the Hearts for Hedley? We were so blown away.
Wow moment.
Wow moment for sure. That is something that was initiated by the fans, and we could kind of maybe helping Barry a bit more, make it a bit of a bigger spectacle. But so surprised, felt so amazing, and just it goes to show how big of a part of these shows that you guys truly are for us.
It's really cool to hear how your music can touch somebody and affect somebody, and it's really interesting how something as immediate as having all those hearts appear out of nowhere spontaneously in the audience can touch you right back and directly, and you're like, wow, this is it's almost a reflection. It's almost bouncing off the crowd and coming right back at you.
Do you like performing in Halifax, Nova Scotia? By C. The answer to that question is yeah.
Is that by C?
Uh-huh.
C, happy birthday, by the way. 19th birthday today.
Happy birthday.
That
As
is
well,
you.
Michelle Hetu. Happy birthday, too.
How do you guys cure your boredom?
Lightly salted. Hang it in the cellar for 6 to 8 weeks. Do you take the SkyTrain much? I always take the SkyTrain when I get drunk because it's safe and it's easy and it gets off a few blocks away from my house.
Totally.
That was Samantha Patterson. It's Brandy Bitch asks, what would you guys like as a present when I meet you in Ottawa?
I've been
Anything, Chris?
enjoying gold Krugerrands. They're the currency of South Africa, and they're solid gold. They're really nice.
The Audi A8 is it's all the rage these days. Think about that.
15-year-old Scotch is a wonderful gift.
Ali M has an interesting question. Do you guys wear the same clothes every night? Do you have multiple copies, or just do lots of laundry?
All three. The
Yes.
answer is all three.
Yes.
All three, actually. The reason being, and this was always kind of interesting, but I'm always really glad we do it, is when we compile tour footage, it's often really easy to then put together really sweet excerpts of shows because you can pull from 10 different shows and it's the same song. So it's a really neat way of sometimes putting together tour footage. And also, we put a lot of thought into what we wear on the stage when we're putting together a show because it really adds an interesting element to it, and we picked out some really special stuff this time, so it's why we like to keep it in and keep consistency there.
Jessica Smart says, if you could punch one person in the world, who would you punch in the face?
Stephen Harper, right in the neck.
I don't know about that. I don't know if the violence is the answer to anything, but Ronald McDonald has really been mocking me lately. He's really getting under
Get
the
him.
old skin.
Maybe you need to take him out.
I swear to God, he puts that clown suit on just
Clown
to
ass
mock you.
bastard.
All right, Maddie would like to know what's your favorite beverage, and that's more, I guess, what time of the day it is. I'd like to start off with a little coffee, as
Coffee in the morning.
A little orange juice for breakfast is good, and I've been enjoying some Phillips Blue Buck on the road this time as well as our traditional PWB sailboats, as we call them.
Yeah, Pacific Pilsner sailboats.
Coronas.
I'm a big coffee guy in the morning, and then I enjoy drinking Reebs, but this hasn't been a very beer drinking tour for me. I've been on the tea a lot, and I don't necessarily like it, but it's vital. It's very vital to surviving this extensive tour that we've booked. And it looked great on paper, but boy, oh boy, 7 shows in on a 9-in-a-row stretch. It's something else.
Yep.
So there's no real want or need for beer really in my life at the moment, and I'm okay with that. And life's all about peaks and valleys, and when I get home, I'm gonna peak.
Or valley, as it were.
Caitlin K says, do you like touring with Kay, Carl, Wolf, and Classify? And that's a really good question because I don't know that these acts are generally people that you would think, oh, Hedley would go out on tour with those kind of bands, and fair. It's a fair sentiment, but I think the bill ended up really well, and I don't think we've ever been on a tour where the 4 bands that are on the bill hang out so much as all of us. So yeah, I love being on tour with those guys. It's good times.
I have a question here. Carmen asks, any weird/secret hobbies? Any weird Or secret hobbies.
Secret hobbies.
Secret hobbies.
What do you got there?
You could tell them about your toenail collection.
I do this thing. It's really weird. And
Do you cut your toenails and then floss with them?
I let my toenails grow out as long as I possibly can.
Like, I'm talking
And then
like
what?
sock cutting, like.
Yeah, till they're big.
Picture the scene in Dumb and Dumber with the grinder and the sparks flying.
Yeah, and then I clip them off, and then I keep them. I keep them in
you have
small
friends.
Ziploc bags, and like a collection. But then what I like to do with them, because I keep them in small little Ziploc bags that look like little druggy bags, I roll them up all clean and neat, and then in public forums where I'm with people that have an otherwise reputable persona, I like to slip them a little baggie that looks really sketchy and discreet, like I'm giving them drugs, and I try to do it where there's other people watching that would go, oh my God, did he just give him drugs? What is he doing? And then the guy who receives it's like, oh my God, he just gave me drugs. I think, what did he do? And then in a private moment, they take the bag and dump it out in their hand and realize it's giant toenails.
Nice.
It gets them every time. Ashley asks, was there ever a point where the cons outweighed the pros of being famous and you thought of packing it in?
I think we went into this with our eyes open, and fame or attention or that kind of thing is just part and parcel of the package. I think it's all about learning how to deal with it properly and learning how to live with it and be constructive about it is sometimes a bit of a struggle. Sometimes it's easier than others, but
It's interesting you say that we went into this with our eyes open because I feel like I didn't, and I feel like I approached this the way I approach most other situations in life, which is the opposite, which is more like this.
falling, tumbling.
Mouth open.
I just got it. And that's kind of how I approached fame. It's really just...
With an open gullet.
Vicky CG asks, where'd you get your eyebrows done? And the answer to that is...
Italy.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming and joining us for another Breakfast with Hedley.
We're playing John the Bat Center tonight. We are here in London, Ontario. We've been here a couple times before. We absolutely love coming back every time. This is going to be a great show tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sending in your questions.
I just want to end with a really quick memory about London, guys. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the very first time we came here and played the Embassy, we all went out for drinks afterwards, and we took our giant inflatable blow-up doll, Fatty Patty,
That's
out the bar with
right.
us on your shoulders
That
the
was
whole
great.
night.
Isn't that the same night that we played the Embassy and you peed out of the second floor window onto a guy on the first
Yes,
floor, and then they
on
all
his
wanted to
Yeah,
beat us
don't ever
up?
get onto a skinhead, guys. It
Yeah.
doesn't work out.
Yeah, we broke into the fair that night. We broke into the fairgrounds and stole the golf cart.
That's right.
Jeez.
That was an eventful day.
Wow.
That
That was all one day.
I tell you, London, bring your A game tonight. We'll see you tonight.
Today is Bullying Awareness Day, so stop bullying.
Shut up!
See you later.
See you guys.
Handle the bully.